Yes, guys, welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. I'm back, right? 9 days since I've been sat in this seat, and I'm back. But not back on time, because I was supposed to do the DR show at 5, and the Avanti West Coast had a bit of a mare today. So, so definitely don't hold tight, Avanti West Coast. You're a sausage, you're a disgrace, you're a cheat. Anyway, I'm back here for you guys. So smash that like button, get your comments in. As you can see, today's video is, of course, on Alexander Isak. Now, the latest on this, obviously, whilst I was away, we did hear that the talks were progressing. We heard that he'd allegedly gone AWOL. We'd heard that he's not responding to messages or texts. He's taken unauthorized leave at Newcastle. I've spoken to Matty Renton. He's spoken to some players at Newcastle. And without revealing too much whatsoever, they're not impressed by his antics at the minute. So what is the latest, I hear you ask? Well, today a name popped up that has been around for a long time in this business, maybe not the most trusted and reliable name, but Indy Kyler, who has actually grown in kind of authority and validity, I guess, in this transfer window. The latest is that Alexander Isak has allegedly agreed personal terms with LFC on a 5-year contract with a year plus on the end of that. He's agreed personal terms, but I almost think, well, how can he? Because Newcastle have not allowed Isak to speak officially to Liverpool just yet. So when you do your due diligence, you do your research, you look up about it, and it's Pletty as well who has reported this. Again, not a tier 1 journalist. Don't forget, Pletty was the man who was called out by Florian Wirtz over wearing the number 10 at Liverpool. But again, 2 hours ago, he said Alexander Isak has reached a verbal agreement in principle with Liverpool on a contract running until 2031. And again, a lot of people picked this up and ran with it. And I guess today the latest news is that Alexander Isak has agreed personal terms. And according to Fabrizio Romano, forget about rumours of other clubs. For Alexander Isak, it's only Liverpool. He wants Liverpool. The contract has never been an issue. The bid is ready, but only if/when Newcastle open their doors. Now, that's the key thing that we're waiting for here. It really is. Newcastle need to almost allow Isak to talk and to formalise the agreement here with Liverpool. The personal terms, I don't think will ever be an issue when you're moving from Newcastle to Liverpool. Obviously, he's going to get more money, isn't he? But it was Pletty that says the verbal agreement in principle has been made with the contract running until 2031. He wants to transfer to Liverpool this summer. The clubs are in contact. And you almost think, well, the longer that Newcastle delay the floodgates to open on this transfer, the longer it will take them to find a replacement for Isak. Now, I've been in this situation before with Trent, with Coutinho, with Suarez, with Torres as a Liverpool fan. And I mean, the Torres one was exceptional because it was on the last day of the transfer window. We had hours to go and get a replacement, and we got Andy Carroll for £35 million, which didn't work. And again, that was Newcastle. We took their best player then. And this isn't like a shot at Newcastle. I'm just trying to relate and say that, well, I've been in this position as well. Not even, long ago with Trent, where you're hoping that he stays, but you almost get bullied by the bigger club in the food chain. And with all due respect, because I do love Newcastle, I love the club, I love the people. I'm going there for the first away game of the season myself at the end of August. This is a situation, unfortunately, where the bigger club, Liverpool, have slapped this almost interest down on Alexander Isak, and they're trying to, push it away, dismiss it for as long as they can before, like I said, the floodgates open and the player gets his move and Liverpool get their player. And this is a situation where that is going to be the case, unfortunately, for Newcastle fans. And actually, the kind of general consensus between the Geordies recently has been one of, no, he's not for sale, back off, we're getting Ekitike. Well, Liverpool got Ekitike. And now it's gone from he's not for sale, he's our best player, back off, to, well, get him out of the club. If he doesn't want to stay here, get him out of the club. So it's a tough one for Newcastle, and I do have a level of sympathy for them because, as I said, Liverpool fans can relate to this with many players. But allegedly, that Liverpool phone call has been made and he doesn't want to turn up to training. There were some rumours of an injury, a thigh issue. We heard Dan Burn speaking about it. We heard Eddie Howe saying, well, actually, the control is with us, the club. we can decide whether he is allowed to or not speak to, any other clubs. And now we know that club is Liverpool. But isn't it interesting that allegedly he's agreed the verbal agreement with Liverpool for a 6-year deal? He wants the move as early as he can in this transfer window. The clubs are in contact. His salary at Liverpool would be similar to that of Hugo Ekitike's. And then obviously, Newcastle with that news are pushing hard to sign Benjamin Sesko. But Manchester United are also in the race. So you're almost looking at a potential another rebuffed offer from a player going to Newcastle. They've been rejected by Cunha and so many others. I can't even, Wissa, Ekitike, maybe even Sesko now as well for Newcastle. So listen, if Alexander Isak has allegedly reached that verbal agreement in principle with Liverpool, it's great news for Liverpool fans. That means it's a matter of time before, I guess, Newcastle do cut the tape and go on then, go and speak to them, you little rat. And they won't like it when he comes back to Newcastle in a few weeks, for sure. But how long will it take now for Liverpool to get this deal over the line? Don't forget Liverpool, and I'm just going to touch on it here. The Yokohama F Mariners game did happen today. Liverpool did win that 3-1, thanks to goals from Florian Wirtz, thanks to goals from Rio Enemies, who is sensational, and Trey Naoni. The youngsters really coming in clutch for Liverpool today. But with that being said, Liverpool will be flying back to the UK now. I'm pretty sure, literally right now, they might even be airborne after leaving Yokohama. So how long will this move take for Liverpool to officially get over the line? When you look at the timeline, Liverpool don't play now until Monday, Bank Holiday Monday. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days until their next game. They'll obviously get home maybe tomorrow and really rest and try and get ready for that game, the double header against Athletic Club. And then, of course, there's the August the 10th showdown at Wembley between Liverpool and Crystal Palace. Myself and Doyle will be at that game. We've got exclusive access with TNT Sports, so really looking forward to that. But if we look at that is still a good, almost 12, 13 days away. So could we see Alexander Isak at Wembley for that game? Who knows? But he wants to move. We want the player. How long will it take to get done now? And how much will it actually be that Liverpool depart for Alexander Isak? So let us know in the chat. I mean, Newcastle at the minute, in terms of how they run, it's just not really the best run club at the minute. You'd have to say the director of football situation is really poor. It doesn't look like there is much going on there in terms of organisation and how they're actually running the football club. So we have to wait and see with that one. But just touching on the game today with Yokohama F Warriors, a team actually that used to be managed by Harry Kewell and also Ange Postecoglou, by the way. And they did go 1-0 up. It was Asahi Unaka who scored the first goal. Some poor defending, really. When it came to that kind of finish from him, it was right across the keeper, but on the right-hand side, we looked a little bit light there. And only 7 minutes later, Florian Wirtz scores his first goal for Liverpool. The assist was from Curtis Jones. A nice finish, tidy across the goal. And that came from Liverpool just really pressuring the Japanese outfit and making them make mistakes inside their own box. I have to say as well, yes, it was an incredible occasion for Liverpool to be out there. I know people that were at the game, and such a great moment for those Japanese Liverpool fans to really see their heroes in the flesh. But the pitch was so poor out there, I have to say, and I'm so glad, and I touch wood that there is no injuries on that flight coming home. But Florian Wirtz made it 1-1, and then only 5 minutes after that, Trey Naoni with another pre-season goal. Remember the one he scored against Sevilla last season? He gets a really tidy finish. And then Rio, 10, 15 minutes after that, gets his goal. Now, on Rio Enemies, I saw him in the flesh in Hong Kong last week. He is ready, right? I heard Jermaine Pennant speaking on Inside Liverpool and TalkSport today, a show that I was actually supposed to be on, but again, travel arrangements didn't work out. He is ready, right? It doesn't matter when. If you are good enough, you are ready. And I do believe fully that he is ready to not replace Luis Diaz, of course not. And I've seen him training with Bayern Munich today, which hurts because I love that man so much. But anyway, he's gone. We've got the really good fee in for him. He leaves with our blessing, and he won a trophy every season he was at Liverpool in 3.5 years. But Rio is ready, right? And, you know, I look at Michael Owen, right? We'll go back to him. He was thrown onto the stage at 17, just turned 17, I believe, at the time. That goal against Wimbledon, he was ready. He was young, but he was ready. He was good enough, so he was ready to play. I look at Raheem Sterling, that was brought on at the end of the Kenny Dalglish era, the second era at Liverpool in 2012 against QPR, I think it was, right towards the end of the season. I think it was Jamie Carragher's last game. And Rio has similarities to Raheem Sterling in terms of his age, profile, the type of player, that tricky winger. But Rio, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed this. I saw him make his debut for Liverpool against Accrington Stanley back in January, and he was obviously, I mean, he is a kid, right? Literally, he's not even an adult yet. He is a kid, but he was quite slight. Although the feet are so rapid, he can drop the shoulder and change direction at the flick of a switch. But he looks like he's grown. You know, he's actually growing. And, you know, Raheem Sterling has never been the tallest player. He obviously bulked up a little bit towards the latter stages of his career. But Rio is growing in front of us, right? Mentally, physically. And I think this kid is ready. You see the goal that he scored today. That's a goal that it takes years and years of practice. You know, he takes it really deep in the first half of play, brings it forward, cuts inside and just wraps it into the far corner. That is a goal that you would expect to see off maybe a Mo Salah, you know? So Rio at 16 is ready, in my opinion. Let us know what you think in the chat. And also, of course, let us know what you think about this news today, that allegedly Alexander Isak has agreed verbal terms with Liverpool. Now, surely it's just a waiting game until we see him in that Liverpool shirt. And I know we've had so many amazing big signings coming in, but this is dream stuff. Alexander Isak, Ekitike, Wirtz. I mean, we're living in dreamland right now, Liverpool fans. So let me know how you feel about that. And how excited you are at the prospect of Alex Isak playing for Liverpool, giving it all that next season for the Reds. So let me know in the chat how you feel about that, and also the result today, the 3-1 victory against the Marinos in Japan. I'll be back tomorrow for much more news on the Kop TV. And then on Friday, we have a very special kit reveal when Adidas finally come to Liverpool. That game today against Yokohama is the final game in which Liverpool will maybe ever wear Nike. And now Liverpool do go back to the famous 3 stripes of Adidas. And the kit launch is on Friday. I was invited to the store launch in Liverpool, but I'm actually in London Friday morning. But I am doing the LFC Foundation 5K run on Saturday morning. So if there's any of you doing that, let me know. And I'm sure we'll link up outside the ground on Saturday morning. But loads to talk about. Keep the conversation flowing in the chat, and I'll see you here tomorrow. Take care.